Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. Imagine walking into a room where the laws of physics seem optional and miracles are considered normal. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of David Herzog and the Glory Zone, where supernatural encounters are just another Tuesday.
You know, what's really interesting about David Herzog's ministry is how it challenges our conventional understanding of spiritual experiences.
Let's start with the basics. Who exactly is David Herzog?
Well, David Herzog is actually a pretty fascinating figure in modern Christian ministry. He's been in full-time ministry for over 25 years, since 1991, and he's known for what he calls glory realm experiences.
Glory realm? That sounds intriguing. What does that mean exactly?
According to Herzog's teachings, the glory realm is essentially experiencing what he calls the tangible presence of God. He focuses on supernatural breakthroughs and divine encounters.
And he's based in Sedona, Arizona, right?
Yes, that's correct. He lives there with his wife Stephanie and their 3 daughters. But what's really interesting is his global reach.
Tell me more about that global impact.
According to ministry records, Herzog has ministered in over 50 nations, conducting everything from large evangelistic campaigns to intimate conferences.
That's quite a reach. And he has quite an educational background too, right?
Yes, both he and his wife graduated from Christ for the Nations Institute in 1992, and he later received his doctorate in 2014.
I noticed he's also quite prolific as an author.
Absolutely. He's written several best-selling books, including Glory Invasion, Mysteries of the Glory Unveiled, and Living in the Glory Every Day.
What's interesting is how he combines different aspects in his ministry. He's not just focused on the spiritual side, right?
That's right. He's also the president of Sedona Naturals LLC and DHM, working as a motivational speaker and even a nutrition coach.
That's quite a diverse portfolio. But let's talk about this Glory Zone concept. It's actually a TV program, isn't it?
Yes, the Glory Zone is his television program that's broadcast worldwide. It's become one of the main platforms for sharing his message about supernatural encounters.
And what exactly happens in these supernatural encounters he talks about?
According to Herzog's ministry reports, these encounters include healings, what he calls creative miracles, and various supernatural manifestations.
That must raise some eyebrows in more traditional circles.
It does, and Herzog acknowledges that. His ministry notes that while he's recognized in certain Christian circles, opinions on his teachings vary among different denominations.
You mentioned earlier that he had a Saul of Tarsus experience. What's that about?
This is how Herzog describes his calling to explain what he calls the dynamics of the invisible world. It was apparently a transformative spiritual experience.
And he spent some time as a missionary too, right?
Yes, he and his family lived in France as missionaries. This international experience seems to have shaped his global approach to ministry.
Let's talk about his latest book. It's about the end times, isn't it?
Yes, his new book, Glory and the End Times, focuses on what he calls God's prophetic vision for the future, particularly regarding Israel and Last Days Awakening.
That's quite a heavy topic. What's his take on it?
He believes that as global uncertainty increases, supernatural manifestations of God's presence will actually increase as well.
Interesting perspective. How does he suggest people prepare for these times?
According to his teachings, it's about learning to operate in what he calls the glory realm, essentially developing a supernatural lifestyle of faith.
And what does that look like in practice?
He emphasizes things like divine protection, supernatural provision, and miraculous encounters as part of daily Christian living.
That's quite different from traditional church teaching, isn't it?
It is, and it's part of a larger movement. The Pentecostal charismatic movement has become the second largest family of Christians worldwide, after the Roman Catholic Church.
Really? I had no idea it was that large.
Yes, as of recent statistics, there are approximately 463 million Pentecostals and charismatics globally.
And Herzog's ministry is part of this larger movement?
Yes, though he has his own unique emphasis on what he calls glory realms and supernatural acceleration.
What do his followers say about his ministry?
Based on ministry reviews, many report transformative experiences and spiritual growth through his teachings.
But I imagine there are skeptics too?
Certainly. Like many charismatic leaders, his supernatural emphasis and miracle claims face scrutiny from more traditional religious circles.
How does he respond to that skepticism?
He actually embraces it as an opportunity to demonstrate what he teaches. His focus remains on practical application rather than defending his position.
And what about his business ventures? How do they fit into his ministry?
He sees them as extensions of his ministry, particularly his health and nutrition work through Sedona Naturals.
That's an interesting combination, supernatural ministry and practical business.
Yes, it reflects his holistic approach to ministry, addressing both spiritual and practical needs.
Let's talk about his television presence. How did that develop?
The Glory Zone broadcast grew from his conference appearances and became a platform for reaching a global audience with his message.
And what's the core message he's trying to convey?
His central message is about accessing what he calls heavenly realms and experiencing supernatural breakthrough in everyday life.
That sounds quite abstract. How does he make it practical?
He focuses on teaching specific principles and practices that he believes help people experience these supernatural encounters personally.
And what about his missionary work? How did that shape his ministry?
His time in France gave him a global perspective and helped develop his cross-cultural approach to ministry.
What's his vision for the future of his ministry?
According to his recent book, he sees an increasing need for supernatural intervention in challenging times ahead.
That's quite a bold perspective.
Yes, and it's consistent with his overall message about the supernatural becoming more prevalent in everyday life.
How does he suggest people prepare for these supernatural experiences?
He emphasizes developing what he calls glory consciousness through prayer, study, and actively expecting supernatural encounters.
And what about his family's involvement in the ministry?
His wife Stephanie is actively involved, and they work together in both the ministry and their business ventures.
It's quite a comprehensive approach to ministry, isn't it?
Yes, it spans everything from spiritual experiences to practical life application, which is quite unique in religious circles.
What would you say is his most significant contribution to modern Christian ministry?
His emphasis on making supernatural experiences accessible and practical for everyday believers has really distinguished his ministry.
And looking ahead?
He continues to expand his global reach while maintaining his core message about experiencing what he calls the glory.
Well, whether you're a believer in supernatural manifestations or a skeptic, there's no denying David Herzog has created quite an impact in his field.
Absolutely. His ministry represents a unique blend of supernatural focus and practical application that continues to influence people worldwide.
And that wraps up our exploration of David Herzog and the Glory Zone. Thanks for joining us on Co-Pilot Podcasts, where we dive deep into fascinating stories and perspectives.